Welcome back to episode 52 of the Young Old Heads podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tommy, aka TV Sports Cards, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Max, aka Cards Max, aka Cards Max Tarzan Edition. Max, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It feels great that we're halfway to a year at this point, right? If my math is correct.
Oh my God.
Tell me, is that correct?
Uh, we have now graduated math classes, I guess. I never reached this level.
Really? I figured you would be like a Calc 3 type of guy. I feel like you would have. Do you have linear algebra under your belt?
No, I maxed at or actually I did take linear algebra. You're right, I did.
You
But
did. I
I did
didn't.
actually.
I didn't. I
Yeah,
took, I think I finished multivariable. No, I finished multivariable. Yeah. So
nice.
I finished
Well,
Calc 3.
I for everyone back home, this is totally a random tangent here at the beginning. Wow. But when I started college, I was in the engineering school. So my first quarter, I took a bunch of like linear math, engineering, computer engineering 101 classes, and I dropped that shit ASAP after starting. So that's my background there.
I almost linked up at Memorial Day with a Northwestern alum my year who graduated from the engineering school, but it didn't
Interesting.
happen.
Didn't happen. Was this a hinge date or what?
No, he's a guy. He
Oh,
graduated from the
a little optimistic with me. Well, Max, people aren't here to talk about that. People only care about our card thoughts, and we've been lacking, and that
Is
is
this
on
a Card
me.
Talk podcast?
This is a Card Talk podcast sponsored by Gary V's Dick. No, I'm kidding. But you've been all over the place. I've been without Wi-Fi and living in the Stone Age for about 2 weeks now. I want to hear what you've been up to, Max. You've been all over the country. You've been popping around. You've been dominating the social media sphere of cards, and I want to talk about all the shit you've been doing, dude. What's up?
I don't know where to start. We can go right into Dallas. I went to the Dallas Card Show this 2 weekends ago. I want
Yeah,
to say it is a Wednesday, so 2 weekends ago, a weekend and a half ago.
yeah.
And I guess a market pulse essentially is that football is on fire, basketball is lukewarm, baseball is lukewarm. This is my second time attending the show. My first time was this past January. As many of you know, I am very baseball centered, and I will love buying baseball. Baseball is fun. I like the pitcher and the batter.
As
So it goes.
ignorant self, who are the hot football guys these days? I've been seeing a lot of. I feel like Justin Fields' hype is like crazy, and I feel like Trevor Lawrence is still around. Is that accurate?
Um, it's essentially Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields are the darlings of the offseason. With pains me to say this, as this is a University of North Carolina quarterback, and I went to Wake Forest, where we were bitter rivals. Sam Howell of the Washington Redskins is also the flavor of the week right now.
Yeah, he's
Most likely be related to Davis Mills.
I love the background noise of you organizing your slabs on your desk, Max. That's one of my favorite podcast sounds that we got going. But
Yeah, well, you had to endure all of those clickety clacks to find this Trevor Lawrence Mosaic Gold rookie, which is cool that I'm shipping out, that I cracked as a PSA 9. It came back at PSA 9, and I sold it on eBay and still made $100. So
nice,
I'll take that. I lost the crack out and still made $100.
even with the fees of regrading and stuff.
Correct. Max flip of the week. I bought it for $1,300 in, I think, late April. It is a gold out of 10. I believe there are four PSA 9s and four PSA 10s and one PSA 9. The card is serial numbered out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I cracked it, I cracked it, and I'm like, wow, this thing is a little bit I'm grateful that this thing got a 9 in the first place, because it was not a strong 9 despite most of the population being a PSA 10s. Sent it out, came back a 9. I threw it up at 1750 firm, and it was binned.
Nice. I have beef with that with the gold mosaics because I feel like they just look so similar to like the yellow ones that they put in every blaster. I feel like they're almost indistinguishable to like a normal person. Like,
Yeah, that's part of my issue with it as well. Because the yellow reactive is a very ugly card,
yeah.
but it still looks like it. I remember when I was collecting Desmond Bain peacocks that there was a blue reactive that was labeled as a peacock, and it ended for like $6, and I then had to go off to explain to people, no, this was a blue reactive, not a peacock. And speaking of which, something that hurts the peacocks is the rarity, but a true gold will outdo a peacock every day in the week and twice on days that end with Y.
I feel like though in like 20 years, talking mega long term, I feel like the peacock mosaics are gonna like have this like weird PMG nostalgic for some people, and like the premium for those will be higher than almost any other mosaic parallel.
I think it's crazy how high Genesises are.
Yeah, Genesis are kind of whack in my opinion, but we'll see how they do in the long run. Max, you
Comment.
dropped a lot. You dropped. I just like I've been seeing
Pick
so
my
much
brain.
stuff, and I want to ask your thoughts on what the hell happened with the Ty Cobb. You had a Ty Cobb.
I had a Ty Cobb. I had my Tolstoy, my PSA 1.5 with tobacco, or as some special fans allude to, as poo stains on our Ty Cobb. So this was a little bit of an adventure. I wasn't with my roommate, but my roommate for the Dallas Card Show, Certified Sports Cards, whose name is also Max, great gentleman. He usually does not sick for Sundays. And as my holistic, exploratory self, I try to, if I'm going to a location and I'm going to spend my own money to travel for my own money before I get any naysayers in the comments, my own money to go on flights and hotels, and I'm traveling to a different part of the country, I'm thinking I want to make sure I'm here as long as possible, not just from a business trip expense, but also a life expense. And I have a internal debacle of, like, if I'm in Chicago, or actually no, Chicago doesn't count because I've crashed on your couch before, but if I'm in an unidentified city and I'm like, okay, like, wouldn't it be cool to see the grassy knoll? Yeah, it would be cool, but am I paying $50 in Ubers, enjoying it for a little bit, finding a cuisine to eat at, getting an extra day's hotel, and then taking another Uber to an airport or another Uber to another point of interest? That's a few $100 quick. So I get disgusted at myself for not playing tourist more, but also playing tourist is expensive. With that in mind, I booked an afternoon flight exit for Sunday from the Dallas Card Show rather than a morning flight out of Sunday. And this is relevant because I believe my flight was at 4:30 on Sunday, and my transaction with the Cobb was completed at about 2:45 p.m. It was an extreme last minute deal. I shopped my Cobb around the entire show with lackluster interest. Some people wanted it. My goal of it essentially was I bought it for 56.50. I wanted to get out of it ideally for 6 cash or 6,500 as trade. I love my Cobb. If someone gave me 66,000 cash, I still don't know if I would have taken it. But 6,500 trade, that's what I was kind of trying to get it because I was like 15% higher than I got it. I love the Cobb. I love the back. I am, in the most masculine way possible, a slut for off backs of T206. I have another T206 off back on my desk right here that I will not get into a tangent to yet. But it was with KK. It was with Colby of KK Sports Cards. It was a fun deal overall. I didn't even intend to trade the Cobb. I saw a Mike Trout 2009 Bowman Chrome first autograph in his display case, and I'm like, how much? He's like 7,500. I'm like, I'll give you 64 right now. And he's like, that's strong. That's not strong enough. He's like, I'll trade for it though. Oh, we can do something, like, look at my back. And I'm like, okay. Incidentally enough, I was talking with him about my Albert Pujols Bowman Chrome first auto for most of the show, but talks died out then. But he's liking this Cobb. He respects the off back. He is Mr. Colby is a off back respecter.
Nice.
Said A, not Ann. And we pinned the Cobb at 6,500. We pinned the Trout at 7,500. I threw in $500 and 2 other cards that comped for $300 and $250 that I was into for 175 and 240. So ultimately, in my head, I was trading about 7,000 in cards, give or take, that I was into for like 6,300. Yeah. Plus $500 cash. Actually, my math is going to be wrong. Plus $500 cash for this Bowman Chrome Auto Trout that lasted 7,600.
So you're in it. You're in this Trout for now, basically $6,800.
I am in it for exactly 5650 plus 500 plus 240 plus 175. I was in it for exactly $6,565 plus a little bit of insurance and tax with REA. So let's say $6,600.
So so you're hoping to get like maybe $1,000 out of the Trout now after all
So
the
the
dealing and dealing.
So the same night that I purchased my Albert Pujols Bowman Chrome autograph from Heritage, there was a PSA 9 Mike Trout Bowman Chrome auto that did PSA 9. This was a 9.5 that I acquired. A PSA 9 did 8,100.
Damn.
Yeah, but the overall comps were about seven. Last comps were I think 8,000, 7,900, and 7,600.
What were
So
you gotta tell the people what the other two cards were that were in the
yeah.
deal.
Oh, sorry. I thought I talked about them already. That's my
Yeah.
bad. They were a 2006 TriStar Clayton Kershaw Prospect Auto PSA 10,
Nice.
and it was a PSA 10, which I mean that Kershaw was sitting on for a while, and it didn't
Yeah.
have any bites, and a PSA 10 first Bowman Mega Ronald Acuna Jr., not to be confused with Ronald Acuna Jr. Mega Mojo PSA 10 that was worth like $250.
Nice. So that's an interesting deal.
So
Couple
here's
modern baseball cards, the Ty Cobb for the Trout.
yes, so 100 years difference of cards.
Wait, can we talk about the Trout? We've never really talked about that Trout Bowman Chrome first auto that much.
Can I tell
I
you
don't
this?
know
I'm
much.
going to wrap up the transaction because I
Yeah,
ended up.
sorry.
No, apology accepted. So there was an auction. So last comp was May 14th, 7,600. On
Yep.
May, so I think a day or so after I leave Dallas, an auction ends on eBay for 7,100. I then see that a 5-day auction has then started. And then a few days later, there is a second VGS 9.5 Trout Auto on the market. And there's also one that ends tonight at Golden. But I'm seeing all these Trout autos and I'm like, shit, I'm
Yeah.
not going to be able to get like 8K eBay on this. Like I thought. I thought I had way more of a command of the market. I thought the PSA 9 at 8K was going to be a really good comp I could sway. No, these things are flying left and right. I listed on my slabs at 8,500 OBO.
Yeah.
I was getting shit from some of my friends because I was ready to go rafting and kayaking, but before we went rafting and kayaking, I was at my table uploading cards on my slabs and comping because I'm like, no, you don't understand. I can't sell these if they're not listed, bro. I can't sell these if they're not listed. But that same day, as I post rafting, as I'm getting dinner with them, I get an offer. I never have offers enabled on my slabs. I get an offer for 7,000. I know the last did 6,950 at this point. I thought there was another Trout ending the following night. So I'm like, okay, he's offering me full eBay. Do I take this? Do I not? I don't know what the fees math is. Surely my slabs fees are better than eBay fees. I counter at 7,500. I'm hoping I don't lose the initial offer. He counters me at 72 and I take it. In this instance, I did the math. My slab fees are 6,000 or make the net sale $6,804, and eBay fees without promoted sales and promoted listings would be 6,808. So I netted $4 less accepting it on my slabs than what my eBay price would have been.
So what's the final math on this on how much money you made off of the Cobb?
So the auction that ended the following night was $5,900.
Shit.
So hindsight being 2020, I took my money and ran. It ended up being phenomenal. I made a measly $200 in the entire transaction.
You went through an insane transaction process to make $200 on that.
Yeah, how do you think I'm going to explain it to? How am I going to explain this to the IRS?
The IRS is going to be like, this motherfucker, man. This motherfucker.
Yeah, I spent 6,600 to make 6,800. But I owned a really cool Cobb for a month.
And you got a lot of Twitter impressions out of posting about it.
I think I got less on this one than I did the first one. I almost bought another Cobb on Sunday night. He was
Dude,
a
Ty Cobb was such a dick though. Like he's just such a fucking asshole. It's hard for me
Ty.
to get behind it.
I know where our politics stand. Cap Anson is someone who is underratedly not hated enough.
Is he should be hated more?
He is like single-handedly responsible for segregation in baseball.
Well, you learned it here. Max has made it deeper and deeper
Yeah,
into
like
history.
Ty Cobb was racist and very discriminatory towards people of other skin tones.
Yeah.
But to an extent, I'm not excusing it. To an extent, is was like within the norms of the early 1900s. Cap Anson would protest and not play baseball games if there were a single black outfielder or someone in the stands, and he would make fits and tantrums if it weren't entirely all white.
Well,
So I implore you to redirect your hatred towards Cap Anson, but still keeping a respectable amount of disdain for Ty Cobb.
I will put most of my hate towards Cap Anson here. That sounds good.
Yeah,
I want to
I
talk.
need to watch the baseball by Ken Burns. I am
Yeah,
halfway through episode 3.
there we go. Slow progress is always being made. I need to talk about the Mike
That
Trout.
was a Trout. That was a Trout.
That was a crazy ordeal. I love that entire story. I had not heard any of that yet. I am still processing it a little bit. But in doing so, I want to talk about the Mike Trout because it is one of those cards that I see often, but I don't really understand the rarity of it. I don't have a good handle on the market. I do know a little bit about it. I know that he doesn't have a base Bowman first. I know it's just the auto.
Correct.
Do we know print run?
I know the refractor is out of 500, and you cannot tell pretty much any print runs because I know on the refractor, like the combined, I'm actually probably going to undershoot it, but I think the combined pop report of the numbered refractors out of 500 is like 700 between PSA and BGS. Like the card has been cracked out and resubmitted so many times over the past near decade and a half that you can't really extrapolate it with the base. But if I had to take a guess, maybe 1,000 to 1,500. I don't know. I think nowadays most base autographs have like 2 to 3,000 copies. So if I'm like extrapolating what it would be for 2009 standards, and that's the lowest parallel is 500, and I think the blues are out of 200. There's blues, and then there's X factors, and then I think just gold and red. I don't know, man. I don't do this stuff.
Yeah, what I'm asking you a baseball card question. Like, no,
Yeah, no. Like pick my brain, bro.
no, that's crazy. I'm really happy for you, dude. To have out of the, you had a little fun story out of that. But
Yeah,
what else happened?
I get to hold it in my hand as I'm slow on shipping.
Nice, classic slow and shipping Max deal going on.
Never. I'm the fastest shipper in the West. No, I'm on the
All right,
West.
though, Max. It's been 3 weeks. What else has been going on? We reached Dallas. You said Dallas basketball is cold even during the playoffs. Basketball is just cold, it seems like. I've been able to pick up some stuff.
Relatively cold, I'd say. Like, no one really wanted Luka. No one really wanted. Actually, I don't remember what the series of the. I think like it was 3-0 Heat.
Yeah.
At that point, no one wanted Tatum. No one wanted Celtics. And even now, I don't think, even with Boston almost coming back, this isn't a sports analysis podcast, so I'll spare you the details.
Yeah.
But basketball was transacted at the normal basketball rate. With that being, LeBron has always moved. Your big basketball guys are always moved. But the flavor of the week sphere of it was absent. And the hottest players are Desmond Ritter, Sam Howell, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. I think like the hype is now relegated from Lawrence and Fields, who are not a sports analysis podcast, good quarterbacks, to Desmond Ritter. Oh, did you know that in the past 3 years that Atlanta has spent their first round picks on a running back, a wide receiver, and a tight end? Ooh, they're gonna kill their Desmond Ritter is poised for success. Those are the types of storylines that we now have with cards. And I will make money grading them, but I don't want to hold my hands with them after the national. From a flipper boy standpoint, from a flipper man standpoint.
Yeah.
I want my dead guys.
Yeah. I've been seeing some screenshots of Caleb Martin sales since the series ended for basketball. I feel like that's kind of like a a name that could pop off if the Heat win. Like his stuff could be like, oh, at the beginning of the playoffs, Caleb Martin this card was at
Yeah,
50 cents.
I had a funny tweet that or I thought it was funny, so I tweeted it. Um, I think one of my cards that I got for $1 in a value bin, what like this is probably like I want to say like I took my hardcore value boxing and have my V value box that I have all my eBay inventory in since I graduated college about a year ago. That makes me feel old. Sorry,
Damn.
older viewers. That makes me feel old. And I picked up like a I didn't even know I owned it. A Caleb Martin purple press proof at a 299. And I think like within a few hours after game 7 ended that same night, it sold on eBay for like $10. Like a Donruss purple press proof of Caleb Martin out of 299. And I'm like, he just won game 7. Let's fucking go. And it's like just a picture of my like transaction summary that like the card had sold.
Nice. That's awesome. I knew
So, yeah, I knew
you.
they were killing off it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like, I don't know.
I've seen some stuff of Cody Martin stuff going crazy, not knowing that it's his brother. I think that Caleb Martin's logo man from NT was bought for $650 after game 7. And it's, is the card going to ship or not? You know, those type of hype Instagram sports card content accounts posting those little quirks. And I think that's a little bit funny.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm amused.
I'm amused. What's up?
No, what's up?
What's up with me?
No, I was saying something, but I don't want to cut you off.
No. I wanted to talk a little bit about the basketball situation since we're in the finals. We got Nuggets Heat, which I feel like Adam Silver's pissed, but card fans are probably also a little pissed. I feel like anyone who was holding LeBron thinking that his title might come again, or holding Tatum. I feel like Tatum was a buzz before the year, and Luka as like, oh, these are the guys that are going to win MVP. They're going to win their first rings this year. All that's fizzled out. We got Jimmy fucking Butler against Jokic. And Jimmy Butler is like kind of a weird card market where you got some Bulls fans who still love him, but also like Heat fans don't buy basketball cards based on Dwayne Wade prices. So I feel like it's kind of like a recipe for no buzz, no one hyped about any of the cards in the basketball market, which I'm honestly kind of fine with.
For a short, like 3 days, Melo cards are in demand.
Oh yeah.
But with his retirement announcement, but that was about it. Yeah, this is not a sports analysis podcast. Nikola Jokic is not card good. Jimmy Butler is not card good. And collect who you love. Controversial take that you've probably never seen before. Collect what you love.
Hot take. Yeah, I don't know. Jimmy Butler's an interesting one for me because if he wins finals MVP, he's going to have a better resume than a lot of guys that get a lot of love in the hobby. And he's going to be kind of this dude that's floating around with a lot of cards from the Panini era, a lot of random shit. And I feel like you're going to be able to buy cool Jimmy Butler cards for the rest of life. In fact, my first fun card that I bought since the last episode is that in 2021 or 2022 Optic Basketball, Klay Thompson got his little all-star card with Jimmy Butler because they debuted their first all-star games in the same year. I want to say 2015. So I've been having fun. I'm actually watching the Gold Vinyl 101 right now on eBay.
Of Jimmy Butler?
Of the Jimmy Butler Klay card. I bought the red and the blue for a combined under $20, which is nice.
We love rainbows.
You know, we love rainbows, but wait, did that already end? Shit. People love. Oh, it ended for 3. Guess.
$383. $338.
That's the Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, Optic, True 101 Gold Vinyl. Here's one random take for you, Max. If you're going to do a rainbow, do an insert because they make less parallels.
Oh, that's kind of based. It's kind of based.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of based.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. I have a random card on my desk.
Let's hear it.
A Walker Kessler Gold Optic Contenders auto out of 10.
And they said basketball's dead.
Yeah. Or no, or is this True Gold? Or yeah, I guess this is an optic. This is just the normal gold. Yeah, I don't know. Just in the grading pile or something
Yeah.
like that. I got this little like hobby armor type little cardboard. It would ship from
Mm,
China.
nice.
That's what was pulled.
I love where cards are pulled. I feel like I want to just know where every card that I've ever owned has been originated from. But Max, did you see that Panini got broken into
Uh, yes.
the
I don't know.
headquarters?
I don't know the full story, but I heard about it.
That sounds like someone who doesn't have an alibi.
Maybe I did it.
I have always been fascinated by break-ins like that for just being like, damn, what did they take? What is now out of circulation or what is going to be popping up in circulation as like crazy shit that like this is the actual printing press that National Treasures was made with or
I
whatever, like
found it
crazy.
very interesting when again I didn't do this either, but when Burbank cards was broken into
Yeah.
and they caught the guy and the guy also hit up Bullpen LA.
Yeah.
I mean, good story. I think they recovered everything, but I think the guys like tried to break into Burbank and it was like immediately sounded with alarms and they just like grabbed the hobby case on the way out and ran.
Yeah.
But it wasn't me.
My LCS here, Elite Sports Cards, got broken into last year, and Ronnie had like a bunch of like slabs, like a Babe Ruth Gaudy and like a Jordan rookie, a bunch of shit was stolen from him. This guy, the guy who stole the cards from him, sold them to another kid who then posted them on a Facebook group in Chicago, and they were able to like go from that guy to get the main guy who stole the shit, and that guy is now waiting trial and shit. So there are good, and Ronnie was able to get almost all of his cards back. I think there was like one random mantle slab that he didn't get back, but there are good things that happen sometimes when don't be a dumbass who steals slabs. Like you can be so much better than that. Be a better person. Don't steal cards.
Tommy,
But next, do
I have
it.
a would you rather. I have a KMF.
Do it.
So the rain date for the biggest garage sale in town is Sunday. So that's the rain date. It's planned for Saturday, right? And it's like streets upon streets have garage sales. Like you can be walking for like 30 to 45 minutes and it's just houses of all garage sales. It's like a town coordinated garage sale event. So, but that's on Saturday. The rain date is Sunday.
Okay.
On Sunday, there are 2 card shows within driving distance. Say it's raining on Saturday and the rain date is Sunday. Would you rather go to this monster garage sale that is not all sports or sports cards or whatever, or
Yeah.
go to 2 card shows in one day?
You know what my answer to this is. I would definitely do the garage sale,
Yes.
mainly because I need stuff for my apartment right now, but also like
Are you
card
on
shows
a,
are card shows.
are you on a ground level apartment?
I am on a ground level apartment here. I got a nice little backyard. We got 2 units above me. We got one person on the first floor, and then we got 2 other floors where it's one family.
Are you a
Um,
basement dweller?
yeah, we got some good light in here though. It's not too
Yeah,
bad.
I was gonna say this is very environmentally friendly and aware backyard you have.
Yeah, we got a good little backdrop here if you're
Is
watching
it
on YouTube.
compost?
Still composting. Um, I actually found a Magic the Gathering card of compost that I'm gonna buy now for myself because I think that's hilarious.
I was once this past summer. I was finishing up a roughly 3 mile run. It was pretty much a 5K. I was doing like my normal run, and I found a Pikachu card on the side of the road,
Nice.
and it was in like PSA 1 condition, and it was from like Chilling Rain or something like that. It was from one of the Sword and Shield sets, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty neat." And then 3 weeks later, so this was like about like 3/4 of a mile from my house. The debris, so I put it back down. The debris and the wind eventually like pushed it to my driveway like 3 weeks later.
Damn, that's insane.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
Don't litter your cards, people. But also, Max, I forgot that I actually went to a card show since the last
Okay.
time we spoke.
Card shows are business trips. Card shows drain you out.
Yes, but card shows are fun, and I went to the Ludex card show, which is a very manageable show for in terms of like you can go see every dealer in under 2 hours. Looked through most stuff there. Got to see our boy Nick Stackinsell, who's doing some more broad content now, which
Yeah,
I'm very
yes,
happy.
I was watching his garage sale video.
Yeah.
It was good in preparation for my big garage sale on
Yeah, I was
Saturday.
gonna say. But no, Nick's gonna come over to my new crib. We're gonna do another video like
Is
I
it a
did
play
on my
date?
what?
Is it a play date?
It's a play date.
Okay,
Nick
cool.
likes to come over. We're gonna talk about cards. We're gonna film some me going through some of my collection. We're gonna smoke some weed. We're gonna have all the shenanigans go down.
Legally.
Legally, obviously, all legal stuff. But I'm excited to do that. I haven't really been that motivated to do card content as much the last doing the moving process. Max, you just did the move. I
No,
had way more
I'm
cards
not
than
done
you.
it yet.
Oh, you haven't done it, but like you're approaching the move.
Yes.
And I think something that a lot of people probably can relate to is moving with your collection. Some of
Yeah.
the thoughts that go through your head. I was like so stressed in the car with my cards. I was like worried about so much shit. I was able to move everything successfully. We had no, you know, collateral from the move for when it comes to cards. I'm really excited about being able to like set up new stuff. So like set up new displays. I want to do like a whole wall devoted to cards, figure out cool ways of displaying stuff. Um, but moving also like puts into perspective, like when I moved to Chicago, I moved out here like specifically with no cards. I was like, I'm not going to bring any cards from home with me. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to build a whole new collection in Chicago. It's going to be kind of like a from scratch thing. And sure, I brought some cards back from home out here. I'm starting to move my collection out of my parents' house and stuff. But it's always a good to reflect and be like, damn, dude, like over the last couple of years, I've started a life here, got my own crib, been able to build a pretty cool collection.
It's
And
pretty cool, man.
it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty
Yeah, it's
freaking
cool.
cool.
It's cool.
And you
That's
know, I started
commendable. That's
I,
pretty cool.
Max, we talk about how the journey that we've had with cards. I feel like every guest we have on is always asked like, what's your card journey? And for me, I feel like I've reached a new level of my card collecting where I feel like I'm very focused. I know exactly what I like. I know what I don't like. I know what I'm not going to touch. I know what I am going to touch all of. And it's a pretty cool point to reach in my life where I'm like, I actually know exactly what I'm going to collect for the rest of my life. Now, obviously, people that listen to this know that I change up my perspective a lot, but it was fun. I'm moving, stressful as hell, but moving and reflecting on your card journey, 2 thumbs up. I got one more thing.
If anything, that's a direct foil to my collecting adventures, as I had a very strong Glaber Taurus collection, relatively strong Glaber Taurus collection, not the big money Glaber Taurus collections, starting in about 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
And then 2021, I climbed my mountain enough I got my first Bowman Chrome Auto and Gem Mint. I got my Sapphire rookie and a PSA 10 Gem Mint. I got a rookie debut black PSA 10. And it's like, well, I could break the bank and spend thousands for consumerism and just trying to assert my dominance over other men that have a lifestyle, more money than me. And if we all know one thing, I'm not a consumer. I'm not a sports or a form of tribalism. Not me. So I've pivoted to other things. I like forced myself to get into vintage for a bit, that with little success in about 2022 to an extent. I tried set collecting. I have my unfinished black white mini diamond parallel set from 2021 Topps Chrome. That was just a waste of $2,000.
That was an insane thing by you.
That set costs a lot of money, and it's still unfinished and still missing like 10 cards. But it just wasn't fulfilling enough. And it's a cool little thing that I will keep and that I have for myself once it finishes the remaining 6 cards. But I've fallen into great interest of pre-war lately, even though I don't even know many of the subjects to their largest depth. I find it a little bit funny because, not to toot my own horn in a weird way, but we were like, oh, like even Colby from KK Sports, the guy I was trading the Cobb too. He's like, oh wow, you know, like so much about this back and the rarities, and I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this for like 3 months. It's like I'm not someone who's done vintage forever. I'm not going to pretend like I ever have been, but I enjoy card history. I there's the first five and then the next three, then Joe Jackson, what could have been, are really the biggest names to an extent, and I enjoy learning about collectibles, what makes something collectible to us. I don't know if that means I further pivot into historical items or whatever, because I at least have an allure and respect for the rarity for these items. Like if something, like my Cobb Tolstoy would have like 3 public sales in any grade a year. It's like, that's hot. I want it. That gets me going.
Yeah.
Give me that. And that's something that's pretty common with pre-war. You have like one sale, like this Christy Mathewson Cycle 350 dark cap back and an SGC one. Really damn cool card. It is so I'm going to get into my tangent. There are 6 super prints in T206 that I believe are covered so there's 3 different series, the 150s, the 350s, and the 350 to 460s, and that's due to what is on the back of the card.
Yeah.
I don't have a card that doesn't have a thrashed back right now, so otherwise I would show it to the camera for all of our YouTube viewers. And there's 2 Cobbs. The green Cobb is only in the 150 set. The red Cobb is in the 350, which says a set of 350 subjects, and the 350 460, which is, these contain subjects 350 to 460 or something like that. I don't know. And there's 6 subjects that are super prints. It is the Ty Cobb red. It is the Frank Chance portrait. It is the Hal Chase blue portrait. It is the Chrissy Mathewson dark cap. It is one of the Johnny Evers's, and shit, I don't know the other. I don't know the 6th. There is a 6th. It's Frank Chance. Yeah, whatever. I got Frank Chance and Johnny Evers are the 2 hard ones. The other, I think it might be another Hal Chase. I think it might be Hal Chase throwing dark cap is the 6th. I don't know if that has any significance to any of our viewers or Tommy himself. But anyway, this is the Chrissy Mathewson. That is one of the more highly printed of Mathewsons. And because they're super prints and they're covered in all the 350 and the 350 460, they have the largest back variety. The Ty Cobb red specifically has the largest back variety of the entire set. I think there's like 20 different backs that the Ty Cobb red can have, something like that. So this is a slightly rarer back than the Tolstoy on the Cobb, albeit this is in much worse condition. And I think there was like the last sale of this outside of the auction that I wanted this at, and the auction that I wanted at doesn't even show up on Card Ladder, wink nod, was like June 2022 for an SGC Authentic. And pop reports are also get really weird for T206 because for stuff like this cycle, there's the Cycle 350s and the Cycle 354. And specifically with T206, I'm up on my tangent, Tommy. I'm so sorry.
No, but you're good.
They didn't distinguish like the numberings on the back. Like there's a section of Ty Cobb Reds that just says Ty Cobb Piedmont, and you don't know if that's a 350 or a 350 460. And same with these. Cycle has 350 and Cycle has Cycle 460. And SGC distinguishes it a little weirdly, which isn't even distinguished on this. This says 1909 to 1911 Cycle. So this is not distinguished. But on PSA, it will say Chrissy Mathewson dark cap, Cycle 350, Chrissy Mathewson dark cap, Cycle 460, and then Chrissy Mathewson dark cap, Cycle. And then for, I think, SGC, it says 1910 Cycle and 1911 Cycle, which is imperfect science because you don't even know if it was released exactly in 1910.
Yeah.
But there's questions. So point being, because of that overarching just cycle population, which I think has like 20 cards graded in each side, you don't even know the exact circulation of the back. And that doesn't even get into slab cracking.
Yeah. And no one, I would say that it's unlikely people are cracking these slabs as much.
Not necessarily to regrade, but just because some people love it in their binders.
Yeah. I love the people that bind their T206s, but Max, we had we had a
Last thing,
cluster.
someone cracked a Roberto Clemente rookie who I love, and I don't want to out them because they sold the card to someone else. But this was really cool. The Roberto Clemente rookie that I sold as a PSA 2 cracked, which was dead centered and looked great. Cracked, submitted the SGC. I got an SGC 3.5 with a top 30% IPL sticker. So that just
Nice.
shows the subjectivity between it, and that some people are definitely willing to crack. And I
That is
respect that.
I respect it. It's a dangerous game.
And he sold it for like $1,000 more than I sold it to him for. But I made my money on it, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy he won. But that's cool.
First of all, I love all your t206 tangents. I would literally be the most ignorant human being on earth if I did not listen to them. So I love them. Second, at Ludex, I had a whole afternoon with Ross. Shout out Ross if you're listening. Me and Ross went on this whole thing about how should we structure the T206 set in our database and how should it look. And it was so complex because every grading company, we look at the grade reports and it'd be like the same stuff you just talked about. Like, oh, this is called 1910 cycle. This one says 1911, but then there's general cycle. Like, which one do we go with? Like, what is this? And it was, I don't think I was ever a part of the resolution. I think that we kind of just threw in all the base cards as like one thing, and they're probably still figuring it out. But I ran into that exact problem in a past life that I never really figured it out. But I'm glad that it's now impacting your buying decisions.
Yeah, SGC will specifically do the year estimates because even chronologically, like the set was released only from 1909 to 1911, and the 350/460 was pretty much released in 1911. But the way you tell is like some of the trade overlaps that have been like reflected. I think like Kleinman is his name, who's like a catcher. He was traded, I think, from Boston to the New York Giants. And some of them are from Boston, and it's like, oh, okay, so this means that he was traded in August of 1910, and this reflected it. Therefore, it was made after August 1910. But then there'll be like another trade that like was done in August 1910 and then isn't reflected. So there's controversy regarding the years, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
To
cool.
an extent.
I'm kind of soft, Max. This has been a really fun one, and we will have another episode on Monday. It is Wednesday right now, so
Tommy, I'm gonna milk you dry out of episodes.
I
Like,
am here all. We're gonna be pumping episodes in June. Expect content to make up for the 3 weeks of no content from us. We will be making up for the lost time, and we will be having a lot of episodes this summer. I'm gonna be going. We're gonna be going to the National. We'll be doing something fun for that. We're gonna be all over the place, and what you can expect is good card content, some fun guests that we got lined up, and I'm excited, Max. This is gonna be a fun summer.
is
52
this a
episodes
hot boy
in.
summer? Is this
It's
a
a
hot
hot,
card summer? Is it a hot hinge summer?
not for me, but it is maybe for you. It seems like I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's for you. I would love to do a Max's Hinge segment at the end to see what the updates are, but I
Oh
don't want
yeah,
to
for
put you
sure.
on blast.
No, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Right
I
now, I
think
have
what's more
two
fun?
matches right now. It's going great.
What's more fun? Messaging with eBay buyers or messaging with potential Hinge dates?
Oh, easily eBay buyers. I have a Mike Trout finest out of one night. No, I actually have two really good eBay stories right now.
Yeah, dude.
That I'm going to close the episode with because
Do it.
we're only at 43 minutes,
Yeah,
so
do
I
it.
can
Do
do what
it.
I want. It's my podcast. Thanks. It's your
Yep.
podcast. It's your podcast. Thanks. I had a Mike Trout finest out of 199, the green refractor, and at BGS 95. I'm priced at $1,500, and the guy's like offer 700, and I'm like, why would I do that? No. It's like, do you have a compelling reason why I should do that? And he's like, BC space UR space a nice guy question mark, and I'm like, well, if I'm well, actually, I am a nice guy, but if you were a nice guy, you would offer 2,200 on it. If you offer me 2,200, I'll offer 700 on the card for a card that's $1,500. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's like offer 2,200, and it's like I changed my price for like 2,200, and then he didn't buy it. He's like, okay, and I'll make it 700, and I'm like, okay, cool, I accept your $2,200 offer. Pay for the card. If you pay for the card, I'll accept your $700 offer. and I'll get you the card for $700. Had the just messing around in the eBay DMs, and it's like, oh no, I thought by offer, I thought you meant just like you're offering to change the price, not just offering like it's a binding offer. But that was a fun horsing around.
Nice.
Additionally, I have 3 Erling Haaland PSA 10 Sapphires, all from PSA 9s that were cracked and regraded. And I think I'm making like $500 profit a piece on them.
Nice.
So essentially, like, they can get off the drink menu when I'm taking them out to restaurants. Okay. Like, I'm living large.
Yeah.
But that being said, I sold one for $875 and that netted about $750. And then I got an offer from a low feedback account saying offer $750. And I'm like, what's your Instagram? And he's like, I don't have Instagram. I'm like, okay, like what's your oh, just kidding. This was all in Minecraft. This is all musical theater. eBay, if you're listening to this is just theoretical, right?
Yeah, theoretical.
Yeah, theoretical in Minecraft, whatever. Yeah, no, it was both. It was theoretically in Minecraft. So, I get his email and he's like this really nice, like Italian guy. He's like, I'm like, great. And I'm like, assuming this is in the US, like, I think I don't want to dox the guy, but his name was like let's say his name was essentially Sylvester Stallone, right? That was phonetically very similar to his name.
Yeah.
And I'm calling, he's like, I don't know how to pay it. Like, let me know. I'm like, I don't know how to, I've never sent money on PayPal before. Let me know I should pay it. And it's like, I get on the phone with him today. I'm like, hey, Sylvester, how you doing? He's like, he's like, strong Italian accent. I'm doing good. I want to get a Erling Haaland card from my brother. And I'm like, you got a great choice. This is a great card. I'm like, I appreciate you. How's your day doing? Oh, it's busy. I'm at work right now. And I'm like, busy's good. Busy is always good. And I log into PayPal. So, like, so you want to go to like the search, want to go to the search bar and press the send money button. You want to type in maxed99@gmail.com. I will take fan emails if someone wants to send an email to that address.
Yes.
Press enter. And it's like, yeah, he's like, oh, where do I put the address? I'm like, no, you don't put it in the memo. You can do goods and services, or you can do friends and family, whatever you're most comfortable with. I don't have to pay like 4% in fees if you do goods and services. He's like, I'll do goods and services. And I'm like, all right, perfect. Whatever you're most comfortable with. It's like, all right, then you put your address in. I'm doing this on the phone, walking this very nice Italian. He's like, this is PSA 10, right? I'm like, this is a PSA 10. He's like, oh, mamma mia. And let's just say tonight I'm going to be packaging up his package. I'm going to be sending it to his brother out in California. And those are my 2 fun eBay interactions of the week.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Hinge is just so much more boring, man, because, well, for whatever reason.
Dude, that is the sort of shit that only happens to you. I love it.
That's not going to happen on Hinge.
It's not going to happen on Hinge.
No.
And stories like this are only told on the Young Old Heads podcast. And with
That's
that,
true.
We will say good night. God bless. We will see you on Monday with much more about what we've been buying on eBay lately. I have a lot of cards I've been buying. They haven't been expensive or very noteworthy, but I still want to talk about them, Max. So we will be talking more about that stuff next week. We have a guest that will probably be either the next episode or the week episode after. He's probably pissed at us for me going ghost mode on the Wi-Fi, but we are back. What you say?
Actually, I have no idea. I haven't caught up with him either.
Yeah, so
we announced this. We already announced who the guest was last time.
Oh, we did? Shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I'll end the podcast on this note with my Walker Kessler gold contenders auto, which was shipped from China. As a card condom, I received this Weiss Shorts Piglet card.
Nice. Max, my question to girls on Hinge when I was on it, and the question that I asked Abby when we matched on Tinder is, if you could go back in time to any time period, what would it be and why?
That's such like a political question, or that's a good question. like not to out myself and like show my power level, but like you know what, I'm just gonna save this for another time.
All right. That was a fun one, Max. I'll talk to you next week. Peace out, everybody.